It's a little gloomy, a little rainy, a little yucky. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I did. Football season is back. I got to be on the call, on the mic all day at the CYFL. Got to call some good action. Youth League football is the best football. I guess it's football in its purest form, and that's how we're gonna start it. Once again, thank you to everybody for hanging out with me, taking the time to watch this program. Thank you for your continued support of the Diner Pod. And with that, I got to thank the people that make this possible. Wabash Valley Plumbing, Peak Performance Gym, RJs Formalwear, Stitched Embroidery and Apparel, and Haute Co. Also, thank you to our subscribers on Facebook. For 99 cents a month, you too can support the Diner Podcast. And that's enough of the shameless plugs. But thank you to everybody who tunes in, who likes, who comments, who shares, who does everything. We couldn't do it without y'all. All right. Let's get down to business. Actually, there's one last thing. August 9th, next Saturday, Singleton Wrestling presents Meltdown. Your Diner Podcast champion, Hijo Day Appalachia, takes on the cleanest man in professional wrestling, David Light. Get your tickets, singletonwrestling.com/tickets. And that's great action. Family friendly, hard hitting action. And yours truly gets to be on the microphone. So there's that. And also, we're expanding our territory. You know what you need to do. Reach out. Contact somebody. I have homework. Everybody has homework for y'all. Red Velvet will give you homework. I went to school to be a teacher. That didn't last too long. I didn't like to do homework. I didn't like to go to class. Kids don't do that. That's bad. So tag somebody that's in a youth organization on this video. We want to expand our territory and keep the coverage coming. So thank you to everybody that's already been a part of Team Diner Pod, but we want to keep growing. So, and with that, that's enough of the shameless plugs and all that stuff. We're going to get started. Legion Baseball. Post 346 was in the Indiana Legion State Championship. They played Monday. They took on Funkhauser Post 8. Post 8 wins 10-0. Dominic Barnhart with the lone hit. Sam Swaim and Gage Sullivan. That's a thunder. I heard thunder. Gage Sullivan each had a strikeout on the mound. Sorry. Red Velvet's just a little scared of storms. Just a little bit. Moving on, we have some basketball action. Valley Elite. They took on Team Indiana. Valley Elite wins 39-29. Logan Tidd led the way. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Jackson Power had 9 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal. And Rhett Thoman had 6 rebounds. Then the Valley Elite took on IE, JBC. That's a lot of letters. JBC edges out Valley Elite 31-30. Jackson Power, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Rhett Thoman, 8 points, 7 rebounds, and a steal. And Lucas Sapp had 8 boards. Then the Elite take on the Power yet again. Indiana Premier. I can't read with these glasses. I'm just going to take them off. Premier win 44-41. Rhett Thoman, double on the day, 20 points and 12 rebounds. Oliver Thompson, 5 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist. Logan Tidd with 4 assists as well. Then the Elite take on Team Indiana. The Elite win 36-33. Oliver Thompson, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Rhett Thoman, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. And Jackson Power, 6 boards on that game. Then we have Valley Elite versus Valley Elite. Black 20-33 takes on Richie. Richie wins 43-16. Logan Tidd led the way, 6 points and an assist. Oliver Thompson, 4 points, 4 rebounds and an assist. And Lucas Sapp, 9 rebounds. The Elite went 2-9 on the day. Now we got some CYFL action. There's my Heisman pose. Pee-wee. The Gray Knights took on the White Knights in the first matchup of the year. The White Knights win 22-6. Krieg Moore led the way, 5 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 extra points. Brody Weichel making his debut. 4 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Leighton Curtis, 2 carries for 25 yards. And Benny Foxworthy, 3 carries and 30 yards. On the defensive side, the Hog Molly, the Big Nasty, Maxton Sheridan led the way for the White Knights. 5 tackles, 3 for a loss. Krieg Moore had 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. Benny Foxworthy with 4 tackles. Brody Weichel and Leighton Curtis with 3. Grayson Moss with 2. Cash Long had a tackle. tackle for a loss, and a forced fumble. And Owen Crum with a fumble recovery. On the gray side of things, Sebastian Dighton had the lone touchdown. Branson Sanders, several carries, a lot of tough running, making his football debut. Keep going. Now we move on to some junior league action, a little crossover play, I guess, in the conference, a little conference play. Gray Knights took on West Vigo. Knights win 25-12. Kaiden Lark led the way. Yes, I use his government name, Tyler. You remember that. I'm always going to use his government name. Kaiden Lark, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an extra point. Grayson Forker, 45 yards and a tud. Landon Pestoff, 55 yards and a touchdown. And Zachary Marks with 5 yards. On the defensive side, led the way again. Grayson Forker, 11 tackles and a forced fumble. Landon Pestoff and Cashton Lowry had 7 tackles each. Brody Vincel, KB Wells, Jamison Arizmendi had 5 tackles. Kaiden Lark, 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. And Zachary Marks with 2. Then we move on. The Black Knights take on the Edgewood Mustangs. Knights win 28-6. Kyler Keith leading the way. 8 carries, 69 yards, a touchdown, and 2 extra points. Excuse me. Kyler Keith may have led the way. Xavier Gerchik took that lead and went a little further. 7 carries, 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What a day. Cam McCoy, 5 carries, 15 yards, and 2 extra points. Then on defense, Gerchik, yet again, 7 tackles, a forced fumble, and a recovery. Cam McCoy with 7 tackles. Colin Drury and Jace Barker with 5. Parker Cox with 4. Kyler Smith with 3. Kyler Keith and Jacob Goebel, 2 tackles each. Max Pierce, Daglin Dilly, and the big dog, Devin True, all got a tackle. And then we move over to some senior league action. The White Knights take on the Black Knights in the first CYFL matchup of the year. The White Knights shut out the Black Knights 22-0. Javon Robinson, 6 carries, 73 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Dalton DeWig had 8 carries, 71 yards, and 2 two-point conversions. Then on defense, Cree Staley, he may play quarterback, but he'll lay the wood too. He had 9 tackles. Jonah Hollywood Harrington had 7 tackles. Jack Dirth with 4. Parker Neese, 3 tackles and a fumble recovery. Javon Robinson and River Trussler with 3 tackles. Easton Herbert with 2. Damian Spone and Jerome Robinson each had a tackle. On the offensive side for the Black Knights, took them a while to get going. Liam Fabre, the quarterback, he started to take control in the fourth quarter and getting some offensive momentum for his team. Then on defense, Liam Fabre, the Boogeyman Shepherd, and Gavin Bowling all had several tackles. And then we have the Gray Knights versus the Maroon Knights. That looks weird. 21-20. That score's wrong because I wrote it down differently. Hold on just a second. 20-12. See, 20-12. This is why you double check your work. I don't usually do that because I'm usually right, except when my wife tells me I'm wrong. 20-12. Gray Knights win. Benton McVeigh, 6 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Eli Marlowe, 4 carries, 15 yards, and he took a 65-yard kickoff return to the house. So let's just break down this. I witnessed a CYFL record back-to-back opening kickoffs. Eli Marlowe was the second one. The first opening kickoff, Max Rates, takes it to the house. That's a CYFL record. That's in my book, that is. So we'll get to the Gray Knights here in a minute. For the Maroon Knights, Colton Jones, little bitty Colton Jones, led the way, 4 tackles, and he got an interception. Landon Zabo and Jace Hickman had 4 tackles. Eli Marlowe with 3. Earl Donald, Damon Ferry, Ashton Ferry, Thatcher Flick with 2. Now we go to the Gray Knights. I about said the Green Knights, the Gray Knights. Max Rates, KORTD, minimum 40 yards rushing. He probably had 130. Trenton Monteith had a 2-yard touchdown run, plus another 65 yards. Kason Keith had a 50-yard touchdown run, and he probably had 125 yards rushing himself. Buster Ray with 50-plus rushing yards. And then on the defensive side, Jeremiah Dixon got a fumble recovery. Now we have Cloverdale, their majors, versus the Greencastle majors. Clovers win 12-8 on offense. Eli Farron had a 10-yard touchdown pass and a 45-yard touchdown run. Wade Bartlett got a 10-yard touchdown catch. Then on defense, Lane Rooster Mattingly, there we go, got a pick. Nick Maldonado, 2 tackles, 2 TFLs. And you know what? His coach wanted me to say this. Kid's a stud on the offensive line as well. So there's that. Now, it's a short episode, so we're going to move on to my favorite part of the show. My favorite part. Well, it might be, since it's football season, it's probably my second favorite part now, but it is. That's right. It is time for our power performers, and this week's power performers are Dominic Barnhart for post 346, Gage Sullivan for post 346, Sam Swain for 346, Krieg Moore for the CYFL Pee Wee White Knights, Sebastian Dighton for the CYFL Pee Wee Gray Knights, Kaiden Lark for the Gray Knights in the Junior League, Xavier Gerchik for the Black Knights in the Junior League, Javon, I hope I spelled your name right, Robinson for the White Knights, Crease Staley for the White Knights in Senior League, Kason Keith for the Gray Knights, Colton Jones for the Maroon Knights, Eli Farron for the Clovers, Nick Maldonado for the Clovers, and Rhett Thoman for the Elite. So congratulations, those power performers, but I've got something else. All those were skill players. Skill players do good, but they do a lot better when they've got the big hog mollies in front of them. So for football season, we also have the Red Velvet Trench Warriors. That's right. Gotta acknowledge the big hog mollies up front, the big nasties I like to call them. So we just agreed on the Trench Warriors. This week's Trench Warriors are click. There we go. Jonah Hollywood Harrington, Cruz Shepard, Reed Robinson, Damon Ferry, Parker Cox, Jamison Arizmendi, Oliver Jimison, Maxton Sheridan, Nick Maldonado. Congratulations to the big nasties up front. Keep going. And we have one other thing. Thanks to our lovely friends down there at people who give me the gift cards. We're going to do our spin the wheel, make the deal gift card thing. And this week's winner will be congratulations, Sebastian Dighton. We will be in touch. You've won a $25 Visa gift card. Yes, I am on two screens. Let's just bring it back. Okay. So, congratulations, Sebastian. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. I love this show. The Youth Sports Chowdown is my number one podcast. Yes, I do 3 a week. It's my number one because it's the most passionate to me. So, thank you. We'll see you next week. We will end on the highlight reel. Just give me a minute. It's a big one. It's a long one, so I got to figure out how to do it. That's the wrong button. And not image. See, I'm not a tech guy, and I'm not that intelligent. All right, we'll see you next week.